Hello, hello. This is Joanne Hewins. How are you today? I am ready to do a Facebook Live, and I'll give you just a couple of minutes and hope that you come up or that I come up. Okay. All right, look what I have today. I'm so excited. I can't open it. I can't show you what's in here. But this is for celebration coming up soon. And you might can see that celebration is going to be January 5th through February 28th. That's a little bit shorter than before. We have it 2 months. And that's different. This time, trying to do away with the problems with the Chinese New Year, and to make things more interesting, they are going to do a 2-month celebration in January and February, and this is going to feature mainly stamp sets and paper, stuff that is made locally or sourced within the United States, I think, and that way we shouldn't have to worry about Chinese New Year at all. And then they're going to have celebration again. I think it is in July and August. So, and those will be, I'm not sure exactly, it's while supplies last in July and August. So that remains to kind of be seen. And then this is the new mini catalog, and it begins, I believe, on January 5th. Yes, and it goes through June 30th. So this is a little bit longer. It's lasting between January and June. Hey, Jean. I can't show you inside, but I'm excited to have it. And let me tell you that my name is Joanne Hewins. I have a blog at lovetocreate.typepad.com, and I'm really, really happy that you're with me today. We are going to be talking about masking and a couple of kinds of mask. And let me show you something. This is a new product. Now, I've used it already, but this is a new product that Stampin' Up is coming out with. It will be, sorry about all of that paper sound, but these will be, it's a 3-pack of the blending brushes. They will be in the January-June catalog, and I am so excited. We're going to be using blending brushes today. We'll use these two, and then I'm also going to use, this is one that I had that I got somewhere else before Stampin' Up had them. So, but I'm just so excited. This is going to be something you have to have. So we're going to talk about masking. The first card that I'm going to work with has sayings from the Dove of Hope set. And we're going to be using these trees from the Winter Wood set. This has been in the annual catalog for a while. And for this one, I made a mask. This is a piece of Whisper White, and let me find my ruler. This is 3.5 by 4 3/4, if you want to know. And then I use the layering circles to cut out a circle. It's just a little above center when you're looking it up and down, and it is centered on the white piece. Now, I've made some cards using this. In fact, I had a card class yesterday at the Whiskey and Barrel, and this is one of the cards that we made there yesterday. So I'm going to pull out this card kit that I have left from that, and I'm going to pick up one of the pieces of white that I have. I'm going to carefully just pick up this tape, and this is just some painter's tape. You would want to get something that is not super strong. I'm going to stick that in there and try to get it close to the edge of the paper that's there so that it just kind of fits directly over. Hey, Cindy. And then I'm going to bring in some Pool Party ink, and I'm going to get my blending brush, and I'm just going to fill that with ink. I'm going to just tap off a little bit, and I'm going to kind of come in from the side, and I'm using just little circles. And that doesn't look like much, but what we're going to do is kind of build this color up. So let me see. I'm just kind of trying to pull it in from the side and then come on because I want it to be smooth. And that's one of the things that I'm really liking from the blending brushes, is that the color is so smooth. I feel like sometimes with the daubers or with the sponges that I get streaks. So you can see this is getting heavier. Okay, and I've about got it, I think, where I want it. I could get it darker, but I believe this will do it. And it's okay if it's not super uniform all the way across, because we're going to stamp over that. So I think that's going to be enough. And I'm just going to lift this up so I can use this pattern or this mask over and over again. I used it through class yesterday, and I'm still going to finish up some cards today that I cut. So here's my finished piece, and I love the way that that looks. So I'm going to pull in, oops, the Stamparatus, and I already have it mounted so that I can put this piece right here where those darker lines are. I'll put my magnets on, and I'm going to put this ink pad under here so that that's more stable, and I'll just ink up the trees. And let me move that down a little bit. And like I said, these trees are from Winter Woods. Isn't that pretty? I just love that. Okay, so to finish up at the front of this, we're just going to stamp some words. This is from, like I said, the Dove of Hope. And I'm going to use my Early Espresso. May not have told you that that was the color I'm using. And I'm going to put it kind of over here. There. All right. And let me pull in my card base. Okay, I'm not seeing, there's one. Okay, let me use a bone folder on that, and I'm just going to put my card, well actually, I'm going to take, this is the sheer Pool Party ribbon, and I'm going to tape a piece of that to the back, and then I use my grid paper to help me to get that straight across. I'm just going to hold it and come over and tape the other end. Okay, and now we'll just glue this. So this is a Whisper White, 3.5 by 5.25, and I believe that this piece is this piece is 4 by 5.25, almost. Okay, and then we'll just glue this to the front. Now, let me go back. I like to hold them by the corners and try to even it up, and I'm kind of getting out of that habit. I need to get back to it. Okay, so I will get a glue dot. These glue dots are a little wonky here. Put my bow. Now I use a bow maker, so I wish I could take credit for that, but I don't usually tie a bow in front of people very much. Now, I didn't really like the way that was so straight there, so we're going to tie, let me see if I can pull that up. We're going to tie just a little piece of linen thread around there, just to give it a little more interest. Okay, and then we'll just trim those. And on the inside, I've got one here to show you. I'm not going to stamp the inside right now, but on the inside, we had the trees again, and then finish this Peace, Joy, Love, and Hope in Your Heart is the card. Let me add a couple of these. These are from the Artistry Blooms adhesive backed sequins. So let me add a couple of those to the card, and this will be done. Okay, so there's one like that. And let me just bring in, we're not going to make a card with this, but let me bring in this doily. And I'm just going to hold that, and we are going to do our sponging over this doily and see what happens. I'm just going to hold it in place the best I can. Oops. Okay, and I won't go through and do the whole thing, but just to give you an idea of how pretty that would be on a card, I really like that. So just another idea of something that you could do. And then look how pretty the doily is. Has a nice blue color. That would be pretty on a card as well. So just another little idea. Okay, let me get a couple things pushed out of the way, and I'm going to talk to you about another way that we can mask. And for this one, I'm going to be using a new stamp set. This is one that is in the new catalog coming out in January. Now, if you're a demonstrator, you could order this starting December 1st. I have it because I attended Stampin' Up's convention on stage at home. It was an online event, so I went ahead and ordered this from that. So we are going to take a piece of paper, and this one is 3 3/4 by 5, and I'm going to get just a straight edge. I'm going to put this straight on my grid paper, and with my pencil I'm just going to draw a line here, and then I'll come over and draw another line. Okay, so I just used a straight edge for that, and then I'm going to bring in some sticky notes, and can you tell I've used these already? And I'm going to add these with the sticky right along the line. Hello, Carol. How are you today? Thanks for joining us. Okay, and we are again talking about ways that you can use masking. And right now I'm just using sticky notes. And I hope this is going to work okay with using some that have been used before. I had to make sure this would work. Okay, and we are going to be using the colors Balmy Blue, Highland Heather, and Pear Pizzazz with our blending brushes. So I'm going to start up at the top with Balmy Blue, and this one is one of the Stampin' Up brushes, the new ones that'll be available. And I'm just going to get some of the ink on my brush, and I want to kind of come in from the side, doing my little circles. And I am trying to keep those ends of the sticky note down. Okay, and I'm going to change over to the Highland Heather, and I'm going to use this same brush. I think I can use the blues. I'm just going to kind of push down and get some of that color off of there. And this has worked. I worked on it yesterday, and using the same brush seemed to be okay. I'm not sure. I think you can wash these. Does anybody watching know? And I think so. Isn't that pretty? Just together like that. And then I'm going to switch over to the Pear Pizzazz. Got it on my fingers. Okay, and I'm going to bring in a different brush for that one. These come in a 3-pack. I think that I'll definitely be ordering more because I'd like to have one for each kind of color. Not all 50 colors, but like for the greens and for the blues and that kind of thing. we will pull up our sticky notes. And isn't that pretty? I think these might be ready for the trash. All right, I'm going to pull in the Stamparatus again. And this is one of the stamped images from the Dragonfly Garden. So I'm going to put my paper in, and I didn't really put a spot for my paper to go. But what I'm going to do is just kind of, I'm trying not to let my magnet stick together. Okay, so I think that will work. Okay, and I'm just going to put another ink pad under there, and I'm going to bring in Blackberry Bliss for this flower. And I could have gone over that way a little bit more. And I'm gonna, I think, ink that up again. Hopefully it goes to the same spot because I haven't moved anything. But yesterday when I was making this, I didn't think I had moved anything, but apparently I had. And apparently I have down here again. Okay, and I also noticed that where I touched that, it has spread just a little. So you want to be careful with that. Okay. And I've gotten something over here. I don't see my eraser close by. Maybe it will show up in a few minutes. I'm going to leave that alone and hope that I will find my eraser. And I feel like I'm a disaster. So I'm going to ink up my saying, may good things grow all year long. And then to finish this up, we are going to glue this. To a balmy blue background. Definitely need that eraser, that gum eraser. So I'll be careful on this, and after I leave you, I will go back and clean up this little space here. I think it will clean up. And I've got some glue over here. We'll get it fixed up. I'm going to bring in the Artistry Blooms sequins, gummed sequins. Whoops, there went one. And I'm going to put some of these on here. So we'll put about 3 of them on here. Okay, so there we have that one. I'm going to pick that up and just stick it there, even though it's a different color. Okay, so that is this one, and this is the one that I made yesterday. So actually, I guess it is supposed to have the double, it does have the double leaves. I don't know why I thought that was movement. Okay, there you go. And I didn't do an inside for this one. All right, let me move on. And I'm going to bring out now, let me get a couple of things moved out of the way. And I'm going to bring in Snow Wonder. While I'm thinking about it, I did do a drawing from the comments from last week for the cards that we made with the Playful Alphabet set, and the winner is Faith Simpson. And I don't know Faith, but she has been really nice to comment on things that I've done. So Faith, if you want to message me your address, I will mail you those cards from last week. And I will be also giving away the cards that we're making today to someone who comments on our stuff today. So thank you, Carol. I'm glad you like those colors. I thought that was pretty. All right, so we are going to work on a snowman card. And let me get my white piece out. Okay. And we are going to stamp the snowman, and then we're going to put trees behind the snowman. So whenever we are making a mask to do that, I've already got my stamps on the blocks. I'm going to stamp my snowman first because he is going to be in the foreground. So you're going to stamp anything that you're going to want in the foreground first. So let me stamp him. I'm stamping him in Memento Black. And I'm just going to stamp him down here. So there he is. And I want the trees to be behind him. So I'm going to be making a mask using the snowman. So I'm going, I don't know why I keep opening that stamp set. Let me move it. So I'm going to stamp him again on a sticky note. And I want to make sure that he's up there where the sticky is. Okay, or that part of him is up there where the sticky is. And so now what I'm going to do is take a pair of scissors and cut out the snowman. Now I want to cut it on the line, or maybe even a little in the line, but mostly on the line there. And I hate to do this to you, snowman, but I'm just going to cut off your arms. I'm not worried about his arms because they're solid. Now, when I make a mask, just like the mask that we did on the first card, and like the sticky notes that I used on the second card, they can be used more than one time. So what I'm going to do when I finish is put my snowman sticky note in my case. And that way I can use them at least one more time or two before I need to make another mask, before it loses its sticky. Okay, so we're about done here. There goes your other arm. And I'm not going to worry so much along the bottom because my trees are not going to go down that far. So, hey Cindy Nelson. We missed you at the class. It was nice to have that Thursday off, but it would have been nice to have you here as well. So I'm going to take my trees now, and I'm using Garden Green, and I'm just going to stamp the trees where I want them. And they're going to go right on top of that snowman. Okay. But when I lift off the mask, he's in front of the trees. So that is another way to use a mask. Hey, Sue Engel. Okay, you will have to have the blending brushes, Sue. You need to order those December 1st, as soon as you can get them. Okay, and I'm just going to color my snowman real quick. I'm going to use blends for that, and we'll just quickly, this is Granny Apple Green. I'm just using a regular marker with the real red to get those couple of berries. And we'll his hat in the light Night of Navy. His scarf. And I'm trying to color quickly. So I'm really not doing any kind of shading or anything with that. And then we'll do the pumpkin pie. We'll get his nose. Okay. So I don't have a pool party blend with me right now, or I would probably color back there. Or the other thing that I could do would be to stamp my trees on, maybe I want to do it like that, and cut around those to make a mask. And then I could maybe come back in with a blending brush and blend in my sky with that. Okay, so this is just a simple little card. I'll stick it on some Night of Navy cardstock. Okay. Now I just feel like that's got to have some snowflakes on it. And I don't think I need to mask the snowflakes. And I do have my pool party, get it, pad. So I'm just going to add some, even though I've already added that to the background. I'm going to stamp it off. And I'm just going to put some snowflakes here and there. Okay. That will finish that up. It's just a real simple card. Okay. And then I have one more card that we're going to make today. And we are going to be using the Healing Hugs stamp set. Let me bring back for a minute my Snow Wonder, and I'm going to put my mask right inside here, and looks like it might fall eventually, but that's okay. It will be inside my case, and then when I want to do something else to mask that snowman, I'll be able to do it. Okay, So let me get a piece of Whisper White. And for this, we are going to use, we are going to use Blackberry Bliss. So let me bring that in from over here. And we're also going to be using the Garden Green. I love those colors together. Okay, so we're going to be using our rose and a saying and our leaves. Okay, so I'm going to stamp the rose first. Thank you, Debbie O'Neill. I appreciate that. This is the most people I've ever had come and see me stamp. I'm just so excited. Okay, so I'm going to stamp my flower. Oops, I'm going to turn it over and stamp my flower. Okay, and then I want a mask for that. So look, I already have one in my case. So I'm just going to use it since we've already cut a mask with the snowman. I talked about that. What I would do is stamp my flower up near the sticky part. I'd get a new one and then cut around that. But you don't need to watch me cut again, do you? So I'm going to lay that mask here, and I'm going to stamp another rose, and I'm going to stamp that over in here. Now, even though the sticky note paper is thin, you're going to see that there's a little ridge in there that didn't really stamp, but that's going to be okay. All right, so I'm going to put this back on here because I want some leaves. So I'll bring in my Garden Green and my leaves, and I'll just put some here. Okay, and now I'm going to move it. You can see my leaves are around my flower. I'm going to move the mask and put some leaves around the other flower. And I'm going to cut this out so it's not actually going to all be on there, but we'll do that. Okay, so let me move those out of the way. So there is our flowers, or there are our flowers. I'm going to put my mask back in my case, and I am going to cut this out using the Celebration Labels dies. Now I've got my Stampin' Cut machine over to the side, and I'm just going to cut it off camera. So I'll be right back. Just give me a minute. I've got such a mess here. Okay. And there are more dies than what I have on here, but I have some with some cards that I'm working on. Now, I want to put a saying on this, and I'm just going to bring in the first card that, or a card that I made yesterday. I have a saying here, I don't feel like it's quite as dark as it needs to be. So what I'm going to do is pull over one of my Stamparatus, and I'm just going to pull off that. I will clean it later. And I'm going to put on a saying with the Stamparatus. Okay. So hopefully I am anyway. So actually I probably didn't leave quite as much room as I should have. Might be asking for trouble. Okay. And the reason I thought that I wanted to do it with this is so that I could stamp it more than one time. And it would be darker. And try it one more time. I think it's getting to where I wanted it. Okay, that will work. Okay, so let me pull in my card base. It's gotten a little bit bent. And then this paper is from the Peony Garden. But real quick, I'm going to pull out, these are the elegant faceted gems. And I want to color a couple to put on the card. And I should have done that ahead of time. But it might need a minute to dry. And this is the Blackberry, Dark Blackberry Bliss marker. Okay. Okay. I'm getting such a mess here, and I have misplaced my glue that I've been using the entire time. I've got the lid here. I was doing so good. Okay, well, we will just talk it through then. So we would be adding our piece of Designer Series paper. This would go on dimensionals, and then we would add our elegant gems like this. Okay, I'm sure I'll find that glue. All right, let's go over what we talked about today. We were working with masking. I gave you several things about that. I'm going to move this card over and we'll finish it when I see my glue. I think they just go, oh, you know what? I found it. I just happened to think that I heard something drop just a minute ago. So, but I think, you know what? I think we'll just go ahead because this is getting kind of long. Thank you, Jean. Debbie, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. All right, so what we've done today is we talked about masking. We worked with this card using a circle to do our blending brushes, and then we made this card. I'm going to pull in the prettier one and not the one that I need to erase mistakes. We did this one using sticky notes down the side, and then we masked this snowman to get the trees back behind, and then we masked the flower in order to have more than one flower and also to have the leaves behind there. So there are 4 cards. I will be drawing a name from those who have made comments between now and my live next Wednesday, and or on my YouTube channel, because I will upload, I guess it is, to YouTube. So I'm just thrilled that so many of you joined me today. It just makes my heart happy. I love sharing with others stamping, and I love stamping. So thank you so much. Thank you, Cindy. I'm glad you like the cards. I'm glad you like the masking, Carol. And all of you have a beautiful rest of the day and go stamp something. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.